On this week's episode of the Jesse T Show, the amazing and powerful Missy Mostrom, founder, head bitch in charge of Vesta movement, and extraordinary kickboxer.
Hi.
Missy, thanks so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, it's amazing. It's a pleasure. One of our common connections, Andrew, introduced us and he told me all about you.
Yeah.
Amazing guy. He's doing a lot of stuff for my business and he's just a great human being and it's good to have him around. And so I'm glad he was able to connect us.
Also one of the funniest people I've ever met.
He really is.
Yeah.
He has a ridiculously awesome sense of humor.
I'd say goofy and weird, but yeah, in the best way.
The perfect mix.
Yeah, exactly.
So wanted to have you on the show. You're kicking ass, literally, in all sorts of forms and fashions with the business and all these different collaborations that you're doing. And I know you have a platform and I wanted to increase that platform. So if you would just tell the world a little bit about Missy and what you're doing and kind of how you began your journey and where you are today.
Yeah, of course. So about 4 years ago, my best friend Alex and I started Vesta Movement. It is a kickboxing strength community, more than just a gym. And that started about 4 years ago, and 6 months ago we opened our second location.
Congratulations.
So thank you. Yeah, it's been a huge success. Actually, good news, 2 days ago we found out that we won Best Gym in Atlanta for the 4th year in a row.
Okay.
Yeah,
congratulations.
So
awesome.
Yeah, we're thrilled about that. We've been celebrating.
That sounds pretty badass to be somewhat of a relatively new business.
Yeah.
And to be in business for 4 years and have a couple locations working on more, so you're getting noticed.
Yes,
That's
year
awesome.
after year, and sometimes it's like, oh, are we like the hot new thing? That was our thoughts at the beginning, and okay, we've done it a couple years, are we peaking now? But year after year, the community loves us. And
what do you think the secret sauce is? What do you think is keeping you moving forward at such a good fast pace?
not only is it a very unique product, but the people behind it, not only myself and my partner, but our entire team is so passionate about what we do, and I think that just shows through. It's one of a kind in this community. Yeah.
It's awesome. And so you mentioned your partner. Did they have experience in this kind of business before? Or is this just a brand new startup for both of you?
Yeah, neither of us had ever owned a business before. She came from the hair community, so she was a hairstylist, and I was a bartender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Service industry, still taking care of people, making them feel good.
Yep. Yeah, which is what I love to do. Yeah, this is just a little healthier way of doing it.
Much healthier, I think.
Yeah,
and just as fun.
Much healthier. Yeah, exactly. Way more fun.
So just kind of taking it back a little bit in terms of kind of how you built your success, I think it's important to go back and talk about some of the things, the struggles and the successes you've had in life, also outside of business. So we were talking a little before we jumped on air, and you mentioned, like many of us, including myself, the struggles with school. For me, going through school, my attention span was pretty low. I don't think I had ADD, but it must have been close.
Yeah.
I would just draw on the table. I was a class clown. I would get in trouble because it was just, the work wasn't hard, but sitting for like 8 hours was hard.
Yeah, you probably weren't challenged.
I don't think I was.
Yeah.
So, but for you, you had a similar experience.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't the class clown. I was not usually in class. I don't think I learned the same way that most people do. And as you know, the public education system is set to groom a specific type of person. Kind of follow the rules, do what you're told, don't ask questions, and just sit there and be quiet and do your work.
Yep.
And I don't work that way. I still don't, but I definitely did not when I was 15.
Yeah, it's not set up for everybody.
Yes.
And it's interesting because I have friends, and I talk about this even with my wife now too, about how I don't think that our kids, a 5-year-old and 3-year-old, should be in this school system the way that it is.
Yeah.
It's set up for a time long past.
Agreed.
And I think that people learn different. I think the world is a different place.
Yeah.
And I think that if it wasn't for, I guess, the grace of God and a few other factors, I don't know how I would have made it in life through that system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's really hard.
So what were some of the challenges you talked about, kind of coming to a head with a parent-teacher conference that was kind of ridiculous?
Okay, so my mom reminds me of this anytime, we get an award or, she sees something great about the gym or it's, me doing well in life. She's always reminded of this moment when I was, I think a sophomore in high school. And like I said, I was skipping school a lot and I was diagnosed with ADHD, so I was just all over the place. And all of my teachers called my parents and threw a conference. And I remember sitting there before school, my hair was still wet, tired, I had to wake up early for it. And you're at this big conference table, all of your teachers, and they went around the table looking at my parents and basically just aired their grievances about me. She doesn't pay attention. She doesn't listen.
Full on attack.
Yeah, full on attack, and right in front of, you know, a young woman.
Right.
So my self-esteem was already low at that point. I knew I was different, and which is not an easy thing to be different, especially at that age.
Sure.
So then it gets to the end of the table, and one of my teachers, my history teacher, he slams his hands on the table and he goes, "Give up, just give up. Why are we even here? Why are we wasting our time?" Yeah, and like the room was silent. And I remember, of course, just sitting there like, yeah, they should give up. Like, I suck. You know, like.
So you bought into what they
personally.
were saying?
Of course.
Everyone was saying it in
Yeah,
your mind.
and these are my leaders. You know, these are teachers, so educators. So I took it very personally. My parents, even though they were so frustrated with me, they obviously had my back. They stood up for me, and they're like, "All right, we're getting out of here." So I tried a couple other schools, private schools, smaller classes. Found one with a better curriculum. And I did graduate. I was a little late, but I graduated. Yeah. But yeah, that always stands out to me as, you know, being told to give up at such a young age, and I kind of did for a couple years.
Now you talk about kind of some of the after effects, right?
Yeah.
You talk about what it did to you mentally and physically, and some of the things that you went through, some of the obstacles.
Yeah.
Some of those.
I mean, I was really depressed, so I got into drug use and drinking at a very young age. I think that's why, you know, 18, I started working in a bar, and it was fun, you know, you just kind of partying as a lifestyle, but paying your bills as well. But I got into a bad pattern of it, and next thing you know, I think I was 26 when I saw a photo of me. I was 40% body fat, which is very unhealthy. I was wearing maternity clothes. I wasn't pregnant. I was just classic waistband pants, where I was at. But it happened so gradually that it didn't really hit me until I saw the photo. So yeah, I was really unhealthy. I was smoking 2 packs a day, sleeping till sometimes 4 in the afternoon.
Terrible schedule. Was this, you were bartending at this point?
I was.
Okay.
And then, so I think about it, I'm obviously now looking back on it, I was very depressed and unhealthy.
And so that's a huge transition.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, probably all the above in terms of going from, you know, getting beat up by your leaders, as we call them, right? Right? Most likely they weren't leaders if they tried to treat you like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then all the way through to where you physically were kind of doing all these things, beating yourself up.
Yeah.
You saw that picture, it was a turning point, and then all of a sudden, what did the process look like from there to go from 40 pounds overweight to today, like Shiva, badass?
Thanks. Well, that's the thing is I remember seeing that photo, and all I said was, "Oh shit, like, this is bad."
Yeah.
And then you kind of go through the emotions in your head of, I need help. And so you think about the people that can help you, like the person I was in a relationship, my parents, and then it just hit me so hard when I forget that moment. Nobody's gonna lose this weight. No one's gonna quit smoking for you. Like, this is on you.
Okay, so you put some ownership in there.
Yeah.
True ownership even.
I knew, I was like, this is gonna be the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but you have to do it. And I did, I started that day.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What did the process look like? Like get a little granular for this one. So like in terms of like step one, that day you started, you did what?
Step one, I think I joined the YMCA.
Okay.
And because I didn't know anything about gyms, and I thought gyms was, you know, just so out of my league, and I was intimidated and embarrassed, and I have really bad social anxiety. So going into a new gym with all these fit people was the last thing I was going to do. So I went to the Y, and you know, I would download these apps. I did the Couch to 5K, and I started walking. Yeah, it's a great app, and it walks you step by step from literally going as a couch potato to being able to run a 5K.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it did. I did that.
No, I just got into running back in January, and I found, because my whole life I played sports and stuff, but I just didn't like to run.
Yeah.
Because mentally I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, listened to a lot of David Goggins over this year, Can't Hurt Me, and he talks about how to do things. And so just the process of you running to go from couch to 5K, what was that like? I mean, how long did it take you to do it? And like, what was your first 5K? Did you end up doing it?
I actually never ran one. Yeah, I actually don't enjoy running. I did at the time, then we'll get to that, but then I found kickboxing, and I don't remember the last time I ran for fun.
Yeah, sure. And I mean, with kickboxing, I found that in 2011.
Oh, nice.
And it was life changer for me.
It is.
You don't know who you are until you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
You really don't, because
It's very true.
you get punched in the face, you either kind of cower and you kind of shell up and try to like you know, avoid, or it turns you into an animal and you go after it.
I'll never remember the first time I got hit, and it was just light sparring. And my first reaction was, ow, should I cry? I kind of want to cry. I want to walk away. But this all happens in like a split second, and then it's like, No, there's nothing you can do. Like, put your gloves up and move it.
Stand up and fight.
Yeah.
Stand up and fight.
Yeah.
And so to get to that point, so you went through the couch to 5K.
Yeah.
And at some point, it sounds like in there you found kickboxing, or it found you.
Yeah.
Okay. And it was X3.
It was at X3. Yep. So once I got a little bit of confidence, and I changed my diet. I think I was maybe 20 pounds down, and that was just from running every single day.
Okay. How much were you doing every day running wise?
5K.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So you went from couch potato, so to speak.
I couldn't walk up a hill without getting winded. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
I did hypnotherapy to quit smoking.
How did that work for you? That's interesting.
Amazing.
Okay.
I haven't even thought of a cigarette since November 1st, 2011.
Congratulations.
I've never had it. Thanks. Yeah, never. It's like, I know I used to, but it feels like I'm telling someone else's story or like a movie I watched.
Yeah, like
I have no attachment.
So that's really cool. We get into cool topics like that on the show. And so tell us a little bit about that. Like, what was that process like? And like, did you feel like it was hokey and all of a sudden it started working?
I was so skeptical.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boss is super cool. My boss at the bar, super cool. I think he's in his like 60s or 70s, smoked his whole life, and he did it. And I was like, that sounds like some kind of hippie shit.
Some BS.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I believe that. But I was desperate, and I was already putting in so much work into my body as far as like trying to eat better and work out every day. And I just seen so many people quit smoking, go back, quit and go back. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. I have to be done. So I was like, it's worth it. I tried it. I went in there, you talk to the lady for a couple hours, you listen to recording every night for a week. You go back in for an hour, and I smoked like 6 cigarettes on the way in. I'll never forget. And I had the pack.
Just feverishly got
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, it was kind of a drive, but yeah, I was like stockpiling. But I still had no optimism with it.
Yep.
And then I remember like we left the session, and I had a pack because I assumed I was still smoking in the car when I was done. And I remember like I paid, and I walked out, and I reached my purse, and I looked at them, I was like, threw them away. Haven't thought of it since.
No need. That's incredible. That's one of the strongest addictions there is.
It is.
And for you to break it like...
Yeah, I started when I was like 11. You know, it was ingrained in my entire life. So, yeah,
Did
no.
you have parents or people that smoked around you, or was it just when you picked it up?
I was told not to do it, so I did it.
Rebelling.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah.
and so, like, even when you go in an area where people are smoking or the cigarettes are out, it just
I'm repulsed by it.
changed.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It makes me sick, but there's never been a point through anything I've been through since 2011 where I've considered it.
Wow.
Nothing.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
And so the movement, the fitness, the wellness, you're kicking it into high gear, you're throwing cigarettes away literally, and you're getting into kickboxing pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And so obviously that's your business today, right? And so what spurred in you to go from bartending, getting back into health and wellness, catching the fever, so to speak, probably with kickboxing, to wanting to turn it into a business? Yeah.
So I was gym hopping, nothing stuck, found kickboxing, loved it, was there all the time, worked with a couple coaches consistently, and I just loved it. But my best friend and I we'd go take classes together every day.
Awesome.
And I remember just being like, this is the most important thing in my life right now. This is the coolest thing I'm doing. I've never felt so alive. I've never felt so capable or strong or confident.
Empowered.
Yeah, it was addicting, and my whole day revolved around taking class and then thinking about it afterwards and then thinking about the next time I was going to do it.
Yep.
I always knew I didn't want to fight. I have so much respect for fighters, and that's who I was surrounded around and still am. But it's just not for me. But I don't think, so I would take these classes and I would feel like I wasn't getting as much attention as I wanted.
Gotcha.
And I wanted to be perfect. I want to be able to fight. I want to have perfect technique and be able to, spot something from across the room and be able to fix a little tweak on somebody's form and see the whole thing change.
That's awesome. And you weren't getting that because, and I used to train in these gyms where there's a lot of great people, a lot of great athletes, a lot of great coaches, but then there's some people that really are just, some of the coaches, they coach because they need to make money. And they are thinking, like you mentioned, in terms of my training later.
Yeah.
I want to go do this later.
Yeah.
So they may not be as dialed into the other people that weren't looking to competitively fight because there wasn't as much like skin in the game for them, so to speak.
Yeah, I felt looked over all the time, and you take these classes, and like I said, like my whole world revolved around it, and I felt like I was insignificant to everybody in the room. Even like I'd see the same people in class every day, and I think it was just the environment. But we'd finish class, and I'd want to like look around and be like, "That was awesome," and everyone would be gone.
Just gone.
Yeah.
You wanted more.
I just felt so alone in this journey that I was on.
So you had like a real need for kind of what you created.
Yeah, absolutely. So it came from something that was missing. And my best friend and I were brainstorming. Oh, so this is another thing. We'd bring people to classes, and all of our girlfriends, they'd say the same thing. Like, oh, that was cool. I loved it. And I'm like, so you're going to join? You want to join? You come with me. I go every day. And they're like, yeah, I'd like to, but I'm not going to join. So we started to kind of dive into why not. And I think it was just, something was missing to appeal to the people that maybe didn't want to fight or wanted more of a community center, like kind of what the bar was to me, like your local hangout, but translating that into fitness.
Yep.
So even everything from the color scheme, we were tired of like these raw gyms, with like red or yellow or black or gray, the typical gym colors.
Yep. Muted, like dungeon, like you're in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I spent a lot of time here and it's kind of ugly.
Yeah.
So.
What was appealing to you? Yeah.
Yeah, obviously I appreciate art.
Sure.
Like to be surrounded by it. My house is covered in artwork, my body's covered in artwork, so the place I spend the most time should be too.
Yep.
So we went into these like, different color schemes, and the music was really important for energy, and then obviously we started coming up with who the perfect instructor would be.
And how did you design that? What was the drawing board looking like for that?
We wanted outgoing, passionate, enthusiastic, high energy. But I never thought I was going to teach. And then basically her and I, my best friend and I were like, that's kind of you. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I only knew fighters as being teachers.
Right.
I was like, no, I'm not ready. And everybody's like, you're my coaches. We're like, you're ready.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they were empowering you.
I was empowered by everyone surrounding me.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was the only one doubting myself. But I think that stems from, my whole life. Yeah, self-doubt. So we come up with a concept, we come up with a name, we wanted it to be different. Vesta is the Roman goddess of hearth and home and community. And we knew we wanted to be like this community center, and we knew we wanted to be very women-centric.
Awesome.
So yeah, just kind of, we was brainstorming, and Alex and I wrote our first business plan on the inside of a pizza box, in yoga pants, drinking wine on my couch. Yeah,
That's awesome.
And we're just writing down everything that we think would be cool or perfect and different. Just
what was that session like? Was it like a couple hour, just throw down, just eat, drinking, having a good time, enjoying life, community? Yeah. And that spawned what you see today.
Yeah.
And so, what were some of the ideas, maybe in your mind as crazy as you thought they might have been when they came to fruition, like drawing them on that pizza box?
Yeah. Well, to open our own business, first of all,
yeah,
we had no idea what we were doing. Yeah, we were like Googling how to open up it. We didn't know anything. So first we started with the LLC, and that was pretty easy. We found the location. We had the idea, we had the concept, we had the branding, we had the idea, and now we had our first trainer. So money, as far as money, we just pooled it together from my household and her household, and then we realized it was going to cost 3 times as much as we thought. So
what was the number it ended up costing into initial startup?
We swore it would be 30, because it's not really
30,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just like, we need a couple bags, and we didn't even start with the strength program. It was always in the name and the concept, but we knew we'd work towards that.
Sure.
So we were like, we need a couple bags and some racks, but my old friend's gonna build the racks, and we kind of like
people helping.
Everybody. We did most of the construction with our friends, like pulling boards out covered in nails in the middle of the night, because we couldn't afford permits. Everything was very DIY and very community funded, basically. Yep. So we thought it was 30. We wound up being about 100,000.
Wow.
And once you sign the lease, and once you start getting all the paperwork and you sign the contractor, you can't just pull out and be like, sorry, we don't have any money. So we were like, okay, so it started with just our households. Okay, maybe we can ask some aunts or cousins or friends or parents.
Crowdfunding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, basically, because no real investor is going to invest in people that had no experience.
Right.
No bank is going to give you a business loan. Yeah. Oh, everybody thought we were crazy. Yep. They're like, I don't get it. Oh, the main thing we still hear to this day, which is the funniest thing, is you should really think about adding jujitsu. Which I love jujitsu, but
it's not part of what you're trying to do.
No, we're teaching cardio, kickboxing, and HIIT workouts. But people are still ingrained in this is what a fighting gym looks like. You do kickboxing, you do jujitsu, and you're gonna get a couple fighters in there, and we're like, no. Okay, take away the fighters, take away the jujitsu, cardio, kickboxing, burn 1,000 calories, high energy. Yeah.
$100,000 from the $30,000 initial guesstimate.
Yeah.
And every business owner that's watching, listening, or anyone who's thinking about these types of things of setting up a company, it's never the amount that you think it's going to be.
Nope. And we were told that by everybody. And I see the same look on people's faces so we asked a couple entrepreneur friends to sit down with us before we did it. They told us the same thing. It's going to cost 3 times as much as you think it is, and it's going to take 3 times as long to open as you think. And we're like, we think we got to figure it out. And now, in the last 4 years, Alex and I have sat down with so many potential future business owners. I see the same look on their faces where we tell them that, and they're like, no, I got a foolproof plan. I'm like, good luck. Yeah. And they always come back and like, you're right. How did you do this? But
it's the passion. It's the almost kind of childlike wonder. Like you want to go create something. You want to build something, and you're so super excited.
Yeah.
And then delays start happening.
Yeah.
Build outs of businesses and different things that equipment wise or employees, which is really the biggest thing, is having a good group of people around you. And I think you mentioned
employees.
that.
Yeah. It's that's the greatest thing about this place is the people that work with us. And but it's also the hardest thing to find.
Yeah.
They say that all the time.
And to retain really good people.
Yeah. We have a really, not only is our retention rate crazy with our instructors, but we actually do some reports. Even with our members, it's like 89, 90 something. That's unheard of.
That sounds really high, but I'm not in that industry.
It's very high.
In comparison, what is it like? Normally 50% somewhere else
lower.
like that?
Yeah, lower. Yeah, it's big turnover rate. Most people change gyms every year. The contract's up, they want to find something new.
Yeah.
Nobody leaves Vesta. It's crazy.
Wow. And
yeah.
what has the feedback been from the actual members and the team, just in terms of why they love you so much? Okay.
Yeah. That's the thing is everybody is so appreciated, and we know everyone's names, everybody's stories, everybody's goals, and we actually care about helping them hit them.
That's awesome.
I mean, I know what it's like to be able to make those changes, but I did feel very alone. I had support, obviously, from people around me, but I really felt alone through the process, and we make sure that nobody feels that way at Vesta.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Do you still have that feeling? Because I know that sometimes entrepreneurs in general, even if they're in people-based businesses, a lot of times they're doing things on their own. And a lot of times they're scaling, building, growing, trying to do different things, operations. So do you still kind of get that feeling from time to time where you feel a little bit alone building the business, or has that kind of subsided a little bit?
Because my business partner being my best friend, and no, I've never felt alone.
That's huge.
I don't know how people do it without a partner. I have so much admiration for people that build a business on their own, and also somebody that I trust, like my sister.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, anything that is bothering me, or when I'm stressed out, or when I call her crying, which happens often, you just what are we doing? It's pretty stressful.
Right?
Yeah. We are always just in it together. So
now we are at a point here in September 2019 where you've put together a business that's been growing for 4 years. You're getting accolades. And Creative Loafing, I think you mentioned, is giving you a shout out for being badass and wonderful. And this is your second location. So what are you looking at in terms of the rest of 2019, in terms of scaling the business? And then maybe you can talk about some of the collaborations that you're working on.
Oh yeah, so February will be year 1 of our second location. So we're kind of rounding out the year, just building it and putting as much love into this community as the Ponce one. We want to obviously grow well beyond Atlanta. You see so many people's lives change, and you see the way that this place touches people and how they're building these friendships and hitting their goals and learning a new skill. It would be a shame to just stop here. So,
World dominance, is that what
definitely.
Okay.
But I don't think anymore in the Atlanta area. We'd like to move out of state.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think our market is definitely an urban market in the city.
Yep.
We've got 2 already here, so.
Why not anymore in Atlanta? I feel like Atlanta would be a really prime location for multiple, and then you can scale further.
Yeah, the thing is we're already at 2 locations within the city. Any more would be cannibalism,
So so you wouldn't want to go. I think Atlanta is probably the most, like you mentioned, urban spot in
Yeah.
Georgia. You're not going to go out to a Woodstock or
hell no.
Yeah.
Do I have to leave the perimeter? It's not. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If I leave the perimeter, it's going to be crossing state lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's that look like? If it's kind of hush hush, no big deal. But if you could share, what does that look like in terms of the next state? The next location. You're going to keep the same concept, modify it a little bit.
Yeah. We just love being in the city, and I think it's our crowd and our vibe. So we're looking at Miami and Portland and Austin.
Yep. Awesome.
Cities like that. Yeah.
Awesome. We were talking. I was telling you about On It earlier. They're down in Austin.
Oh,
Maybe a
cool.
good collaboration.
I would love to meet them.
Huge.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So now when you're growing this business and you've been doing all these things to make it awesome for people, and so what are you doing day to day? Like, what does your day to day look like now?
Oh God, it's a million different hats, literally. Like I don't even know where to start. They're long days; they just keep getting longer and longer. Usually, wake up, anywhere from emails to meetings, to planning events. I still teach classes, which is my favorite part of the job.
Awesome. How many are you usually teaching roughly per week or per day?
About 8 a week.
Okay.
Yeah, I was up to 15, then 12, and
scale it back a little bit.
I have to. Yeah, just because there's so much to do on the back end. I'm still in the building every day, but not on the mats. But I need time to. When we first opened, I like my fitness took a back seat.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching everybody in the city do something I love, which was amazing. But I was like, I don't remember the last time I got to do this.
Wow.
So now I'm focusing. I'm taking time for myself and my training, and I train at ATT as well.
For those who don't know, American Top Team.
Yeah, they're amazing. Jake and Tubbs are my favorite instructors. And
what are some things you're training like now? So are you doing classes over there, working on technique, and like what are some stuff you're doing?
Both. I do one-on-ones where we'll work on sparring technique, but also just breaking down the basics and perfecting them. Like one of the couple weeks ago, my last training sessions with Jake, we spent an hour on roundhouses.
Yeah.
Perfect them. I couldn't. My left foot was torn up from pivoting, but
I bet it was.
Yeah.
I used to get blisters on the bottom of my feet.
Yeah. But I love it. I want to be the best I can be to give people the best instruction I can give them. And I do really enjoy the sparring classes, but I think I'm going to take it right until stepping into a ring or a match. I just
get up to that point.
Yeah, I'm in my mid-30s, and I don't want a broken nose.
My face has been rearranged a little bit, a couple of scars.
Yeah.
My nose is pointed a little bit, but once I watched a lot of Joe Rogan and his stuff, and he talks about why he does jiu-jitsu so much.
Yeah.
It's because it's way less damaging to your brain. You want to be able to be young and healthy and as fit as you can for as long as you can.
Yeah.
You don't want degenerative diseases coming in like CTE and all these things that can happen because you get repetitively hit in the head.
Yeah.
And as much as I know for me, I'm a competitor and I like to punch, but I like to get punched too, which is really weird to say. It makes me want to fight harder. I know there's a limit to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I know there's like okay, that's enough, and like you don't want to go down a road of like issues later on in life.
Yeah. If I had found it when I was 15, 20, all in.
Yeah.
But because I did find it later, and then started the business, and I don't know, it's just not something that ever appealed to me on that end.
What's been one of the biggest hurdles you've had to overcome, or even overcoming now, as you're growing through the business, and like what have you done to either overcome it? Like, do you have people that you can bounce ideas off of? Like, what are you doing to grow through it?
We have this amazing team. There's Alex and I, and then Britt, our program director. She's with us from the beginning. We have meetings pretty much all day, every day. We're just talking and coming up with ideas and thinking of how we can reach more people and how we can do more events. And we're always giving back to the community, like, what charity we can be donating to, what organization we can be working with at the time.
Are you working with either currently, or have you done it in the past?
We just did one for Raíces in Texas. We usually work with Planned Parenthood. We've done the Center for Black Women's Wellness this year. We try and hit a community that's close to our heart and what we value.
What you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So now everything we've never done anything that didn't give back in some sort.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, we were talking about before we jumped on here some of your collaborations through the years and what you might be working on. Do you want to just share that, like things from like Lululemon, Adidas, and the other things you're working on?
Yeah. So it's really cool to be able to do what I do, but also get recognition from these huge brands. It's very humbling, but Lululemon asked me to be an ambassador. So I did that 2 years ago.
What does that look like? That's kind of up, but like in terms of like them connecting with you, you connecting with them. How did that relationship start?
Yeah, so I just went to Ponce City Market one day and I was like, hi, we're opening a gym across the street.
Outreach.
Yeah,
Just
basically,
face-to-face.
And we hit it off immediately. They really liked me from the beginning and I liked them as well. And they're just so supportive. And they're like, anything we can do to help, anything we can do to help. So we'd invite them to events and, I'd pop in the store and, and I would pop in the store and next thing you know, they're like, we really want you to represent the brand, we want you to be a brand ambassador. And then actually, usually it's a 2-year stint and then you're done.
Okay.
They asked me to sign on for another 2 years.
Awesome.
They're just like,
so you broke the mold.
like we love what you're doing and there's just so much more for you to do, so.
They don't want to let you go.
Yeah.
And so what has that relationship done for you and for them? Like, what are some cool things you've been able to do? And like, working with them, and how's that been?
Well, they sent me to a couple workshops. One of them is a huge honor. They choose 100 ambassadors from around the world.
Okay.
I was there with Olympic athletes, some very successful entrepreneurs. They
Was it intimidating to be around those types of
Oh,
people?
yeah.
You felt pretty, yeah.
Well, they flew me out a couple years ago to one, and there was about 30 people from the Southeast.
Yep.
And I remember the whole time I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't deserve to be here. And then kind of throughout the weekend, we all figured that we all felt that way.
Yeah.
And then so this past spring, I went to headquarters. I went out to Vancouver.
Awesome.
And this is the highest honor in the company as an ambassador. And so I'd already kind of been through that, knowing like I'm here for a reason.
Yep.
I have just as much to offer as anybody else, and also just as much to learn. So I felt like I had a seat at the table that but it was cool to see people that were at their first experience who felt intimidated, and
you could resonate.
I took so much pride in being able to be like, no, you're here for a reason.
Yep.
So
empowering them. That's like
yeah.
your MO. It seems like is like you've
Yeah.
seen things that have happened to you, and you want to change that not only for yourself but other people that you can like
yes.
lead and coach and train, and
Yeah.
you want to be a help to somebody else.
Yeah, anything I can do to make somebody not feel left out, not feel discouraged, not feel not worthy.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's a
thanks.
huge noble effort. And so, what are some of the things that, as an ambassador for Lululemon, you get to do and get to experience?
Yeah, I get to lead community workouts all the time. We do one every summer called the Shed Sweat, every month in the summertime. And we get to connect with people from the community that might not be Vesta members. Usually we have about 200 people show up, and it's just this big outdoor. Yeah, it's so cool. We're doing some vision and goals training for some Georgia Tech students this month. Yeah, so I always said I wish I had somebody come to me when I was a young woman and just be like, hey, it's going to be okay. Where you start isn't where you end up. So now we get to do that for our community.
That's
unbelievable. Yeah, it's really
cool. So any other collaborations that you're working on or have worked on?
The coolest thing I can say I've done, hands down, was this year I did a national ad campaign for Adidas.
Okay.
Yeah, the Ultra Boost 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like their new shoe, their running shoe. So I got to shoot for a week with this amazing team from New York and Portland.
Were they here in Atlanta?
Yeah, they came to Atlanta.
Nice.
They chose 10 people.
Okay.
And I got to see myself in Lenox Mall on a huge billboard.
Cool is that?
Yeah, amazing.
Take a picture and like put it on Instagram.
I did, yeah.
Did you?
The best thing is my parents are in New Jersey visiting my grandma, and they went to the store, the Adidas store in New Jersey, and there's a picture of my 99-year-old grandma posing in front of me. And
that's really cool.
yeah, they're all over the country. They've been in LA, New York, and Vegas, and small town New Jersey, Atlanta. So it's just really cool to have such a platform, like to be in an Adidas store.
Yeah.
I've been wearing that brand since I was a kid.
It's badass.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming around full circle.
Yeah.
So, for you, just there's so much to talk about and to get out there, and you have an amazing story, and I do appreciate you sharing that with the viewers. What's a go home message, or something that you feel like you can leave behind that will maybe help empower somebody watching?
Yeah. I don't know. Just believe in yourself, really. Even when no one else does.
That's huge.
Yeah.
When no one else does is like the hardest thing.
It is.
And then if people want to reach out to you, connect with you, whether it's for maybe checking out the gyms
Always,
or
yes.
checking out you on your social platforms.
Yeah, so Vesta Movement is the name of the gyms. We have one in West Midtown, one in Atlanta, and your first class is free. Find us at www.vestatl.com. Vesta Movement is the Instagram handle. And we're on Facebook, but we're mostly on Instagram.
Awesome. Everybody do it for the gram.
Yeah.
So there's not enough time, but thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thank
taking the time to meet with us today.
Yeah.
I'm Jesse T. This is Missy Mostrom, head bitch in charge, Vesta Movement. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in to us next week. See you.